Here are today's top news stories and why they matter. In Ivory Coast, a major political shakeup is unfolding after a court ruled that opposition leader Tidjane Thiam is ineligible to contest the October presidential election. The decision hinges on his previous French nationality, which the court says invalidated his registration, despite Thiam formally renouncing it in February to meet the legal requirements. Why is this significant? Thiam was seen as the strongest challenger to President Alassane Ouattara, and his disqualification could drastically reshape the electoral landscape. His removal from the race has sparked fears of political interference in the judiciary and undermines public confidence in the democratic process. Thiam has condemned the court's decision as democratic vandalism and accused the ruling party of manipulating the judiciary to suppress opposition. So what's next? Thiam's legal team says they will explore all available avenues to challenge the ruling, though options remain limited. Meanwhile, opposition parties are rallying around the case, with some warning of potential boycotts or protests if the decision stands. Moving on, we head to South Africa, where ahead of the Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy's first official visit on Thursday, April 24, the political spotlight is intensifying. Zelenskyy's arrival is seen as a direct test of South Africa's non-aligned stance, a position that has been criticized by the West and praised by Moscow. Officials in Pretoria say the two leaders will explore ways to deepen cooperation, focusing on agricultural trade. To tell us more, our very own Thuzo Kumalo tells us more from the ground.
President Zelenskyy's visit to South Africa is drawing attention not just for its timing, but for what it could signal diplomatically and economically. It comes on the heels of a phone call between President Cyril Ramaphosa and Russian President Vladimir Putin, where both leaders reaffirmed their desire for a peaceful resolution to the Ukraine war. Why is this significant? This is Zelenskyy's first visit to South Africa since the invasion began, and is happening in a country that has taken a non-aligned stance. The visit could mark a turning point in how Pretoria positions itself on the global stage, especially as it balances ties with both Kyiv and Moscow. But here is the bigger picture. Beyond politics, South Africa is looking at Ukraine as a potential agricultural partner. With wheat imports under strain and food prices volatile, stronger ties with Ukraine could help stabilize domestic food security. At the same time, this underscores South Africa's push to diversify global partnerships without appearing to take sides in a deeply divisive war.
And now back to West Africa. The Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, is commemorating its 50th anniversary in Accra, Ghana. However, the celebrations are overshadowed by the absence of three founding members, Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger, who withdrew from the bloc earlier this year, citing foreign influence and a desire for greater sovereignty. Ghana's President John Mahama has described the departure as regrettable and emphasized the need for dialogue. He appointed a special envoy to initiate high-level conversations with the three countries, aiming to reintegrate them into the bloc. Now, as we wrap up, Pope Francis, who passed away on April 21 at the age of 88, is lying in state at St. Peter's Basilica in Vatican City. The public viewing will continue until Friday evening, allowing the faithful to pay their respects. His funeral is scheduled for Saturday, April 26 at 10 a.m. in St. Peter's Square. World leaders, including U.S. President Donald Trump, will attend the funeral. The conclave to elect his successor is anticipated to begin in early May. That is it from us, but the stories do not stop here. If you want sharp insights, untold angles, and the news that truly matters across Africa and beyond, hit that subscribe button, give us a like, and join the conversation. This is DW Africa, and my name is Andrew Wasike.